event is brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing. And by the Sports Car Club of America. We're here in Rumford, Maine, where an incredible field of 86 cars is set to head out into the forest. Among that field, some notable international entries. The late Carl Merrill's Ford Cosworth Escort is here with a very special driver. The big story of this event, Stig Blomqvist here in the United States. Now the man who brought him here, Ouija Smith. Ouija, tell us how this came about.
As much respect that people had for Carl, everybody in the world, I think, has it for Stig. He's a very famous driver, and everybody I'd ever talked to recommended him to come over.
Stig, tell us about how you feel about racing here in the United States.
No, okay, I don't know so much yet, but I guess it looks like it will be fun, and it looks quite good. So I've been seeing some roads, and they look quite interesting, so looking forward to it.
Canadian Frank Sprongo's looking forward to it as well. He's won here in the past.
The plan is to definitely try to stay ahead of Stig. We'll try to see what we can do with him. He's the main competition here. Also, Noel Lawler, Paul Schwinier is off, so it'll be a very tight and fast-paced rally.
And with Paul out, Noel Lawler heads up the Hyundai team.
Pressure isn't that bad actually. If we can get a finish here this weekend, I'll be the happiest man in Rumford for definite. The Hyundai is brilliant. We had no problem testing yesterday, and it sounds like we'll take the Tiburon home in top 3, I'd say.
But before that happens, there's 348.4 miles of racing over the next 2 days. 6 stages tonight, and 5 more long ones up through the woods north of Maine, almost to Canada tomorrow. First man on the road here today, though, Frank Sprongo will get the lead off, and that will be a big advantage. Although there has been some rain lately, there's a lot of dust on these roads, and they're incredibly narrow and tight. If you get into a dust situation, it's going to cost you time. He's making up for it here. Nice time on the road, sweeping it through these corners. He knows where he's going. Noel Lawler, number 2 on the road. He's also raced here in Maine several times. He lives in Vermont, so it's not a far stretch for him. Making good use of the road here as he puts it through on board now. You can see the amount of effort involved. It's real hot, real humid. These are tough conditions for this kind of workout. But he's making the most of being second on the road. No Paul Schwanier here. He's out sick, so Noel is heading up the Hyundai team. Behind him on the road, though, Stig Blomqvist, all the way from Sweden in the Cosworth Escort. You can see a little bit of a different driving style. Stig's been around a while. He's a World Rally champion, and you can see inside he doesn't quite work as hard. It's little small, subtle flicks of the wheel that do the job for him. Comes through here, real nice form. You can bet a lot of people are watching, paying attention to his drive. John Kemp behind Stig on the road. Nice job in his Audi. He's had a lot of experience in Maine as well. Been here 6 times before, and he knows the road well. Dean Panton from Jamaica next on the road in his Hyundai. Hasn't driven in the States for a while, but he's getting used to it quickly.
It's been a while since December, last time I was in the car. So it's going to take a couple of stages to get used to it. Luckily, the stages are a lot longer in Jamaica. So it'll give me a lot of time to get used to the car. So hopefully within a couple of stages, I'll be able to pick up the pace a little bit.
Karen Schrader and Doc Schrader all the way from Memphis, and they have no illusions about the competition.
People that think that Stig's over here for a vacation in the States are going to see a whole different story. The guy is a great driver. So I think for us, it's the same game plan that we've had all year. We're going to try to come out on hot off the pace, out of the box, and we're going to try to stay with the guys in the front and hopefully drive smart and get a good finish and keep in the run for the championship.
That's the idea. As we go to the 2-wheel drive cars now, John Nichols from Canada comes through in his Golf GTI. And Bill Malik, all the way from California, having a great run. It's good to see him back here. He's had some mechanical problems this year, but he looks solid going into this event. Henry and Cindy Krolikowski, husband and wife team, as they come through in their Dodge Shadow. In the Mazda RX-7, it's Mike Hurst and Rob Bond. They've raced here several times before, should have a nice result. Oh, Sprongo comes through towards the finish now. As we're heading in, this one will determine the order for tomorrow's start. It's going to be critical for him to have a good time here. Comes to the finish, 12 minutes even. These are hundredths of a minute on the right side. Now, Noel Lawler comes through towards the finish of stage 2. Again, he's pushing here 12.09, a little bit slower. That'll put him in second place so far. And now Stig Blomqvist, whoa, knocks the camera there a little bit. He comes through, sliding it nicely, beautiful form, 11.73. That will take the fastest time for tomorrow's restart. He'll be first on the road. Dean Panton coming through now, slides it into the finish, 12.87. Whoa, gets it sideways. Little trouble with the camera here, you can see the replay. Whoa, we can't keep going through cameras like that. Watch out, Dean. John Kemp next on the road behind him. Comes to the finish of stage 2, 12 minutes, .54, a good time for him. Darren Schrader on board now as we head to the finish of stage 2. Gets it sideways. Oh, a little closer view of the tree than I'd like to have. Manages to get it going again, but that's not the kind of view you want to have this early in the event. He manages to keep it going, no damage to the car, and that's good news for him.
Came up to a tight one and looped it around and didn't do anything to the car, but of course when that happens the time's just tick 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 going, but it feels okay. The car's running really good, just trying to get into a good rhythm.
No such luck for Demetrius Andro and co-driver John Belflor. They made it to the end of the stage okay, but that was not the end of their problems. As they overshot the finish, wound up in a ditch. That was it for them. So the order for tomorrow's reseed: Stig Blomqvist, Frank Sprongel, Noel Lawler, John Kemp, and Darren Schrader. Lots more stages though in this day when we come back.
Oglądajcie więcej Speed Vision Pro Ali. Yes?
Welcome back to the SCCA Pro Rally Maine Forest event. More of the first day's action as the sun becomes lower in the trees and the driving gets a little trickier. Light is hard to read. The roads are a little different now in this kind of light. Frank Sprongel still on the road first. He's got to make up time here because tomorrow they're going to reseat everyone in front of him, and he needs to make up all the time he can. The end of stage 4 now, 38 minutes, .91. That's hundredths of a minute that they measured to. Noel Lawler is on the road behind him, trying to make up time as much as he can before tomorrow's reseed. He's working hard at it and staying on the road as much as he can. It's a lot of work. You can see that steering is really giving him an incredible workout here. He comes in towards the finish of stage 4 now. 39.64. He's been unable to make up a whole lot of time on Frank Sprongel. The man behind him, Stig Blomqvist, ruling the road. Real nice form as he slips that thing right through there. On board now with Stig, you can see again the real minimal handwork he's doing there. He's done this a long time, doesn't want to wear himself out early in the show. Coming through the finish now, 37.28, he is still on top. The order largely unchanged, although Stig Blomqvist is pulling ahead in the dust. After that, Frank Sprongel, Noel Lawler, John Kemp, and Darren Schrader.
Seems like I take a couple of seconds off Sprongel, his Audi, and he takes a couple of seconds off me, so it's been up and down all evening, and he presently is second, I'm third, and Stig is out front. But the Hyundai is going great, and if we keep up this, we'll be all right for tomorrow.
Over in the production classes, production GT leader Gail Truiss and co-driver Pam McGarvey got a big scare on the very first stage. A rollover cost them the event, and luckily nothing else. They were both unhurt.
It was one of those, we were winning the stage when kind of ran out of talent and rode at the same time. We just overcooked corner, went wide, and ended up going down an embankment and rolling over. There were a few trees involved, and the car doesn't look so good right now.
For main competition, Cal Landau, also having mechanical problems, puts him out of the event. They're both spectating. No problems though for Celsius Donnelly, as he's putting on a little bit of a show, gets a nice lead going here in the class. Behind him though, Greg Healy's pushing hard in his Subaru, may be able to catch him. Production class points leader Carl Scheibel's off to a good start, despite a little bit of trouble with ground clearance here on this rough course. A little more trouble for Anders Green in the 174 car. Narrow bridges all over this course. Oh, no room on the sides if you don't make it. The Daewoo car is coming up to the ranks though nicely, currently running second in the production class. Ahead of him, Evan Moen in the Neon, making a nice run. Lots more rally action ahead when we come back. Each week, we take a close-up look at the world of SCCA Pro Rally. This week, points leader Noel Lawler gives us some insight into the future of the sport.
In the last 4 years, this sport, the SCCA Pro Rally Championship, has really taken off from spectators to competitors, and a lot has to be thanked to Hyundai for their commitment to the series and the sport, supplying two great cars, competing against all the other manufacturers that are starting to get involved in the series. It's been great to be on the #1 team and be actually #1 here in the series right now. There's no reason why this can't become equally as good as the World Rally Championship or European rallying, because it has been around forever, and I think now we're at a level where it's as competitive as that, and in the next few years I really think it's going to be as good as European rallying, and it should be, being the biggest country in the world.
Definitely something to look forward to. And the man looking forward to expanding his almost 2-minute lead on the pack, Stig Blomqvist.
No, okay, it's always nice to be away from the dust, but okay, have to go as quick as you can, and okay, we was lucky to get things working well, and things we get some good times, and that was the thing.
I think more than luck was involved in this kind of career. He's doing a nice job with the escort here, powers it through the dust, and you can see that dust is increasing. No rain last night means everyone behind him is going to have a real tough time. The 1-minute separation isn't much, but it doesn't seem to bother Frank Sprongel.
We're behind Stig Blomqvist. For me, it's a great advantage. I'll have a set of tracks to follow for a change at this event. It's a good advantage.
And you can see those tracks laid out in front of him. That's about all you can see as he goes through this real heavy dust here. It thins out in places, then you get the pockets where the wind hasn't blown it away in that minute, and that's where you really have to hope you're going the right way. Behind him on the road, Noel Lawler in 3rd position. He's got 2 guys ahead of him, 2 sets of tracks, a little more confusing, definitely harder to read the road. Whoa, yeah, he's off a little bit there, into the water. Manages to hang on to it though, keeps it on the road. He can barely see where he's going, but he keeps it pointed in the right direction, continues his run. John Kemp behind him now, also doing nicely. His car is down a little bit on power from the top 3 guys, but he's making up for it with excellent driving. Darren Schrader comes through, gets it real sideways there. I got a feeling a little extra competition at the head of the pack is really bringing out the best in these guys. He comes along, you can see the tracks, he's got nothing left to follow. Whoa, except for Noel Lawler's tracks, into the water at the same spot. Hangs onto it, just barely there, keeps it going down the road. Dean Panton behind him now. We've had some reports that Dean's having electrical problems. Whoa, he's got more problems there. Sideways into the dust, he manages to keep it going, but there's definitely, Mike Fennell's working on the electrics. There is a big problem, they will not be able to continue. At the first service of the day, heat is the biggest story of all. 100 degrees plus, high humidity, no fun.
Probably the worst heat I've ever endured. It was unreal. I mean, just came off the stage and I was exhausted, absolutely exhausted.
It just zaps you so bad that just a little bit of like a heat exhaustion, a little dizzy feeling, and try to get as much fluid in you as possible.
The only guy it doesn't seem to really get to is Swedish Stig Blomqvist. Amazing, it isn't slowing him down one bit here in the woods. Co-driver's helmet cam, you can see he really isn't working that hard either. Maybe that's the secret. Just a little flick here, a flick there, and does exactly what he wants to do. As he comes up towards the finish of the paved section of the rally, we'll check the time on board, 1 hour, 39 minutes, .37. There's just a half-mile in-town stage left in the event. It's going to be hard to beat that time. Frank Sprongel's trying to do exactly that. He comes up, a little water even out here. Doesn't do much to kill the dust, though. 1 hour, 41 minutes, .95. He will not better the time. Behind him on the road, Noel Lawler still pushing hard.
We're 3rd, I think, now, and we need to maintain 3rd. We're the first one with for points towards the championship, so that's what we care about.
1 hour, 44 minutes, .12. A good finish that'll keep him ahead of the points. Just he has to do that half mile more. He'll be all set. Darren Schrader comes in now. He's been having a good, consistent run through the water here. Little flapping off the car there. Must have been from that earlier off-road experience. He'll make it to the finish line. Check the time now. 1 hour, 49.31. So the Got Balls Racewear Report after 10 stages. It's Blomqvist, Sprongel, Lawler, Schrader, and Kemp. And back at the service area, the street tires are going on as they get ready for the asphalt stage. We'll have it when we come back.
Stay tuned for more Pro Rally on Speed Vision.
This SCCA Pro Rally event is brought to you by Hyundai. Driving is believing. And by the Sports Car Club of America. Back in Rumford, Maine for the SCCA Pro Rally Maine Forest event, and there's trouble for the Schrader car.
Well, about 8 miles down the road, we noticed the alternator's gone out, so we're running just on the battery. We've got 79 hundredths to go before we're finished. We've worked our way up to 4th place, so we're going to try to coast as much as possible down this thing, start up, run the parade lap, come back, coast into place, run the lap, and finish this sucker.
Good news, it looks like they've got it running. If they can keep it going, they'll hold their 4th place position. The orders run backwards for this part of the event, and everyone else is out having a good time. Darren Schrader and his father Doc managed to keep the car running on the battery the whole time, so they're still in the running here. Looks like they're going to be able to make it through this course. This runs behind the Meade Paper Factory in Rumford, and it offers some of the toughest driving a short course could provide, finishing up right here in town. Oh, across the line, looks like he smoked the engine there, but he made it through. That's the important thing. That'll be good enough for 4th so far, and looks like no one else is going to get close to that. Noel Lawler's on the road. He's working on his time. He's currently in 3rd now. You can see how rough it is. There are railroad tracks, all kinds of hazards coming through here. Co-driver Charlie Bradley points the way for him. He comes up through the finish here, a little airborne. Oh, takes out the barrel, but he makes it across too. 1 hour 44.72. That keeps him in 3rd position. Frank Sprungel now behind him on the road, working through, little air here and there. Comes up through town on board here. You can see the crowds turned out for this final turn. 1 hour 42.56. He will not be able to get close to Stig Blomqvist. Still the man out front on the final run here, coming through one last section of track. He's really making it work here. No slacking off at all for this guy. What's the Cosworth through the paces, up the final hill, tearing it up here. Comes in through town. You can see the crowds again. They really love this kind of stuff. Come out from all over the woods to see the finish. 1 hour 39.96. A great time for a great event as Stig Blomqvist pops the cork. And the Rally Sport final race report. Stig Blomqvist 1st, Frank Sprungel 2nd, Noel Lawler 3rd, Darren Schrader 4th, and John Kemp 5th. 2 rally champions are in the pits.
I'm here with Stig Blomqvist, the winner of the event and former World Rally Champion. Was the competition more than you expected?
It was a good competition, and okay, it has been growing a lot since I was here last time, that's for sure. And the roads have been very nice, fantastic roads really.
But another happy man in Rumford, the man leading the points now, Noel Lawler in the Hyundai. Noel, how was it for you?
It was brilliant out there. We had a couple of little problems, got through them, maintained 3rd actually at the end of the day, and hopefully we have 23 something points ahead of the championship now, so it looks good for the rest of the year. And again, the Hyundai was just unbelievable, incredible.
So Noel Lawler leads the points. Paul Schwanier 2nd, Darren Schrader 3rd, John Kemp 4th, and Pete Lamb 5th. Manufacturer points, it's Hyundai 1st, Subaru 2nd, Toyota 3rd, Daewoo 4th. Make plans to join us September 20th at 8 p.m. when we bring you the Ojibwe